Okay, so here we are at our first calculation, and it tells us use mathematical computational thinking to extrapolate the measurements that we got from the grid area to the entire pool to determine the total, basically the total mass of the algae in the pool. It also tells us here to assume the area covered by algae is equivalent to 30% of the pool's surface area, and then to get the total algae biomass present in the pool from our data. So there's our numbers. This is how much we scraped. This is the area that we scraped on our grid and the total pool surface area, of which 30% is covered by algae. If we don't know how to do the calculation and we click on the yellow hint, it should pull up the instructions. Okay, so it tells us to get the total biomass in the pool, we get the total area of the pool, multiply it, total area of the pool covered in algae, multiply it by the biomass of algae collected per area scraped. So we need to take the pool surface area times 0.3, and we have this. The pool surface area is 64, right here it tells us, times 0.3. Okay, and then we need to multiply that by the biomass collected divided by the area scraped. So I'm going to write down, I'm going to save 19.2, and then I'm going to take my biomass collected is the first number, divide it by my area scraped is the second number. So I'm going to do 0.159, oops. Divided by 0.757, and that's 0.21. So if I multiply that by my number from the first part, which was 19.2, I should get my total answer here. You'll do the same thing except with your numbers. So now I'm going to click use, and that'll fill in the box for me, no problem. And then I can click continue. At this point it says we know how much algae is in the pool. We need to determine how many catfish can live in this pool. So it tells us about the rule of 10%. 10% of the energy stored as biomass gets used to produce biomass in the next trophic level. And so this allows us to make predictions about the number of organisms that can exist at a different trophic level in the ecosystem. It says using the 10% rule, calculate the amount of catfish biomass that can be supported by the amount of algae in our pool. And so basically we're going to take 10% of the algae biomass. So if we have 4.032 divided by 10 is the same ways of times 10% or divided by 10. I'm just going to do divided by 10 is 0.403. So 0.403 grams of catfish, which is not very much, but that's okay. We're going to figure out why. Now that we have calculated the total catfish biomass in the pool based on the 10% rule, you can calculate the number of catfish, assuming that an average adult catfish weighs 10 grams. Okay, well, if one catfish weighs 10 grams and we only have less than half a gram of catfish, that's 0 catfish. What? It's okay, it'll make sense later. So now we are going to count the number of catfish in our pool. I can click on that to close it. I can zoom in, and then I'm going to click on this to use my counting tool. I can zoom in again. I like, and then you're going to go ahead and count your catfish like this until you're done.